Helping you live healthy, the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force is now changing its recommendations when it comes to aspirin use to prevent heart disease and stroke. The panel now says that certain people over the age of 60 should not take the medication after all. The Food and Drug Administration is also asking food companies and restaurants to reduce the amount of salt that they put in what you eat to keep your heart healthier. Joining us now via Zoom is cardiologist Dr. Ruple Galani. Good morning, Doc. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Good morning.
So first, let's talk aspirin. All right. So this panel of experts is basically making two recommendations. One suggests that younger people may need to start taking a low dose amount. Would you explain who this applies to?
Yeah. So back in the day, about 10 or 15 years ago, there's an adage that an aspirin a day would keep the cardiologist away, but that no longer is the case. So really, aspirin therapy is now going to be tailored to people that are at high risk of cardiovascular disease. And so in our practices, we use risk models from the American Heart Association, American College of Cardiology, that look at risk factors, age, gender, cholesterol, et cetera. And if you've got a 10-year risk that is greater than 20% for a heart attack or stroke, we recommend aspirin therapy. And that's what we use for people under the age of 70. The new guidelines are interesting, and we've actually been doing that for quite some time, is that people that are over the age of even 60 or 70, we don't necessarily recommend aspirin anymore unless it's truly going to be a benefit if you've already had a heart problem or a stroke or a heart attack. So for primary prevention, you have to really tailor it to higher risk individuals. And then if you're older, unless you already have an event, primary prevention for an aspirin doesn't really need to be done. And that's what the new guidelines from the task force is saying.
So then when it comes to younger people, as an example, I mean, could this be people who are as young as in their 40s that may now be, a suggestion from their cardiologist based on their risk factors, take, a baby aspirin every day?
Yeah, yes, that is correct if you're high risk. And one of the things that we do and that we can help decide if you're high or low risk, we have a simple tool called the calcium score. What that is a quick CAT scan of your heart arteries that gives us a estimate or a guess if you actually have any level of heart disease at this current time. And depending on this score, we can put you in a lower risk category where we don't have to recommend aspirin, or you get bumped up into a higher risk category. And then we have the conversation of taking an aspirin, potentially taking a cholesterol medicine. Obviously, we want everyone to exercise and do lifestyle changes. So it's all about risk assessment and really tailoring aspirin therapy and cardiovascular risk reduction therapy to the individual.
It's interesting because I think that maybe because we can go to the drugstore and we can buy, baby aspirin, we think that, well, there aren't any risks in taking this. What is the concern about older people taking aspirin if they haven't already been taking it for a while?
Yeah, so one of the things as we get older, our risk of bleeding goes up. And I completely agree. People think that aspirin is a very safe drug just because you can get it over the counter. But we definitely know as you get over the age of 60, and especially over the age of 70, even taking a baby aspirin can increase your risk of bleeding from your stomach or even in the brain. So the risk of bleeding gets higher. And then studies that we've done in clinical trials and population studies show that in older people, taking aspirin really has no significant benefit of preventing heart disease or stroke. So you're exposing yourself to the risk of just bleeding, which could be life-threatening, versus very little benefit, especially if you're older.
So now let's switch topics to salt, if we could, just briefly. So the FDA is suggesting, not requiring, but suggesting that food companies and restaurants reduce the amount that they put in what we eat of salt by about 12%. Why is too much salt so bad for us?
Yeah, salt is a big component of our daily diet, and we clearly know, and we know that salt, the more salt you eat, the higher the chance you're going to have higher blood pressure. So in general, when we have patients that have high blood pressure, we actually recommend they cut their salt reduction to about 1,500 milligrams a day. The current recommendation by the CDC is to do in our general diets, if you don't have high blood pressure, to be around 2,300 milligrams. In reality, most Americans, if you don't know it, you eat about 3,400 milligrams of salt a day. So the reduction that the CDC is trying to get food makers to do is to bring that number closer to about 2,000, and that's that 12% reduction. But salt is definitely correlated to higher blood pressure, and then higher blood pressure leads to more cardiovascular events such as stroke and heart attack and so on.
Okay, so I'm going to test your skills here at math.
All right.
2,000 milligrams, I believe you said. How much salt are we talking about then that you're recommending?
It's just under a tablespoon of salt a day. Yeah, that's it. Total all day long. Okay. If you really read your food labels, you'll be very surprised how much salt is in even simple over-the-counter items, and especially there's a lot of salt in our restaurants and in our food.
Yeah, that's why that food seems to always taste so much better than when we cook
Exactly.
it at home. All right, Dr. Galani, thanks for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
No problem.